I find it borderline unsettling that I just made this video about this exact subject, and like 3 days later I get this on Google feed, but okay. First of all, I wish I could tell you what in fuck's name is going on with this headline. He's not a very good actor, end quotes, colon. Not even multiple Oscar nods convinced Freddie Mercury's band member to accept Sacha Baron Cohen as the electric vocalist that went to Rami Malek. What the fuck? Rahul, that ain't the way to speak English, and that ain't the way to write a headline. But anyway, okay, I really fucking hate how I don't even know what the shit this is. Google feed? I couldn't tell you, but I hate how they write their articles. They're always trash. They always follow the exact same format and it sucks. They always do this stupid like intro to what we're talking about. Listen, Google, we know what they're talking about. Even though this headline was confusing as fuck. If you put a fucking picture of who you're talking about, I know who you're talking about. I know what you're trying to say. Okay, so Sacha Baron Cohen's career, blah 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, I know that. Why wouldn't I know that? People who follow this kind of thing know who the fuck he's played before, but let's do a cute little intro anyway. He's also a big fan of Freddie Mercury, the lead vocalist of the British band Queen. There have been many attempts in Hollywood to make biopic based. Okay. Cohen was supposed to play Mercury in an early attempt at a film that shuffled directors between David Fincher and Tom Hopper. I love David Fincher. Honestly, I might, in all seriousness, be David Fincher's biggest fan living. That's not true. But I'm just saying I'm a huge fan of his. I always forget how to say his wife's name. I'm so embarrassed. I don't know how to say it because it's Irish. She's probably his biggest fan, but I love David Fincher. He is a baller. Um, I wouldn't choose him to do a Freddie Mercury biopic, though. That's just me. Tom Hopper, that name is eluding my mind. I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm gonna search. Who the shit is Tom Hopper? No. Okay. Okay, this is still not ringing a bell. Sorry, but anyway. Although actor Rami Malek would ultimately play the role in Bohemian Rhapsody, directed by Bryan Singer, the thought of Cohen portraying the role was rejected by one of Queen's band members. Roger Taylor slammed the idea of Sacha Baron Cohen as Freddie Mercury. The idea of Sacha Baron Cohen playing Freddie Mercury is an interesting one because their personalities are wildly different. First of all, I don't really think that's true, and this sentence doesn't really prove it. Cohen is a satirical, larger-than-life comedian, while Mercury is a beloved and dedicated lead vocalist of Queen. First of all, they're both dedicated. They're both extremely dedicated. AF. I can't even tell you. Like both men are just all of the way in it. Okay? I'm sorry, I don't have control over this. I wish I could not show you this shit. But they're very dedicated. They're very hardworking. Okay? Both of them. Freddie Mercury was, and Cohen is currently. Alright? Um, Cohen is a satirical and larger-than-life comedian, while Mercury is a beloved and dedicated lead vocalist of Queen. He was, not is. But okay. The pairing of the two is odd yet intriguing for something like a cinematic biopic. Is there another type of biopic? Okay. The drummer of the band. There should be a comma after band. The drummer of the band, comma, Roger Taylor, comma, seems to think that casting Cohen would be a bad decision as he does not consider him a good dramatic actor. He had this to say about Cohen. I think he would have been utter shit. Sacha is pushy, if nothing else. He's also 6 inches too tall, but I watched his last 5 films and came to the conclusion he's not a very good actor. I may be wrong there. Ha! I thought he was an utterly brilliant subversive comedian. That's what he's great at. Okay. once again, my point is proven that these men. I'm watching Short Circuit, by the way. That's what the thing in the corner is. Um, just because you're a good rock star and you're a good musician doesn't mean you really have an eye for film. Is it too late now to say sorry? Because I can tell a lot, very, very, very frequently, when someone's actually better than they're letting on. And that does happen very, very, very frequently within comedy and within like goofy stuff. Like, you can tell that someone is better than what they're doing. An example of this that just came to my mind immediately was Jim Carrey. Now, I was actually too young at the time, but I've gone back a little bit and looked at it a little bit. Is Jim Carrey was in this comedy show that was hot shit back in the day. It was called In Living Color, and he did all this goofy stuff on there. He was very hilarious, but like when you're that hilarious and that like outgoing and that boisterous, like chances are you can actually do good dramatic stuff as well, which Jim Carrey has proven to us more than once, right? So, what's his name? Roger Taylor doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, Taylor's disapproval of Cohen as Mercury is understandable since he is mostly subjected to comedic roles and satirical characters. But Cohen has recently made a transition towards. Yeah, that's okay, what I just fucking said. It seems fans will never get to know how Cohen's version of Mercury would have turned out. Okay, what I'm going to read to you next is. To me, it's embarrassing. Okay, Brian May was convinced with Rami Malek on the first meeting itself. I'm sure they really liked him. I'm sure he's a very cool guy. I'm not denying that, okay? But I just I don't know, okay? I'm trying to think of I have thought of in my life like casting someone to play someone that I know or casting someone that a character that I wrote that's based on a real person, okay? And like just thinking about that gives me anxiety because I wouldn't trust anyone to be these characters. Obviously I would and obviously I would have to, but I'm just saying like I would just be so my bar would be so high. And these are people I know personally and love personally, not fucking world famous rock stars. Okay? So anyway, um Rami Malek ultimately got the opportunity to play Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. The lead guitarist of Queen, Brian May. Okay, see, it should be the lead guitarist of Queen, comma, Brian May, comma, but I guess we're just getting lazy with writing now, was impressed by Malik's passion and enthusiasm for the role. Of course he wants to. Of course he's passionate and enthusiastic about it. He wants to. This is a fun role. Like, do you really think you're gonna meet an actor who like truly wants to be in this project and for him to not be passionate and enthusiastic about it? But okay. He started to visualize his friend in Malik's mannerisms and voice and thus was convinced of his casting for the film. He told Deadline, "My stereo picture from the Queen in 3D book shows us that in the very first meeting. It actually says it all. After a few minutes with him in Roger's flat, everything about Rami had clicked with us. His reading of Freddie's personality was spot on. His instinctive inhabiting of Freddie's physical presence was actually uncanny. We watched his demo screen tests, which were great, but really it was the feeling in the room that he was the perfect man to don Freddie like an overcoat. Of course, Rami had already mastered Freddie's unique accent and tone of voice, but his characterization went much further than that." Okay, first of all, what the fuck? To don Freddie like an overcoat? That's like bad acting. That's not. That's. I wouldn't say that's a good a good measure of acting. I don't really like the way he put that, honestly. And the way he just described that made it seem like Rami Malek could do a good impression of Freddie Mercury. Like do like cool party trick, bro, but that ain't the whole thing. That's not the whole picture. And Freddie Mercury actually did have a really I've watched a couple of interviews with him. He had a really fucking weird accent, honestly. So he was actually raised in. He grew up for a long point of his life in Zanzibar, if I'm not mistaken, which is an archipelago in the Indian Ocean. Um, so it's a weird area. And he also, like, the way he spoke, I mean, obviously he's older, right? How old would Freddie Mercury be today? Let me look. Um, I'm sorry, I gotta do the math and I gotta use my calculator. Okay, he'd be 77 today. So, like, he did kind of have, like, an old-timier accent. Um, but I really wasn't convinced by Rami. I did not get the Freddy vibe with Rami at all. Not by his voice, not at fucking all, dude. And I don't mean his singing voice, I mean his speaking voice. Like, yeah, he kind of sounded, obviously he was trying to do it. He did a good college try, but like, I'm convinced Sacha Baron Cohen would have done it better. Okay, Malik's hard work and dedication in trying to paint an authentic and respectful representation of the iconic musician would be widely praised by critics and audiences. The film and Malik received many accolades and awards, including Best Actor for Malik, at many prestigious award events such as the Golden Globes, Screen Actors Guild, BAFTAs, and the Oscars. So the people who vote on that sort of thing, I'm just convinced. Are we getting more stupid? I'm asking that question. I'm asking it like for real. Are we getting not as smart? And this right here is convincing me. I'm like, I'm trying to highlight it for you, but I don't think I can. Okay, here we go. This is like, I'm like, why? Is everyone, this is why I'm thinking that everyone has gotten more stupid, because I feel like that movie was so bad. Um, I was watching, what was I watching recently? It was, okay. It wasn't that I was, I went and saw The Nun too, okay, in the movie theater, all right? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I paid money for it, okay? What of it? But I saw it, and there was a trailer for The Color Purple before it. And while I was watching that trailer, first of all, I was annoyed because that movie looks annoying to me. But second of all, I was like, why does everything look so fake? Like, I was just mesmerized by the amount of fakery in the trailer. All of it looked so fucking fake. And that is because I am sick of high definition. I am sick of this perfect makeup. I am sick of this perfect retouching in post. I am sick of this whatever the fuck, okay? I don't know and I don't really care, but it looks like shit. It looks like shit, okay? I hate look it looks like video. That trailer looked like it was shot on video, not on a cinematic camera. And I was just like, what? So these movies that were made prior to the current technology we have now, the quote unquote advanced technology we have now, right? Like any fucking movie. Okay, I'm just gonna name some of the ones that come to my mind. First of all, the original Color Purple, Stand by Me. I was just talking about Castaway. Um, Whatever the heck else. Okay, all of those films that I just listed look more real than The Color Purple, and I haven't even seen the movie, and I can tell you that for a fact. Than the newer version of The Color Purple. I'm just saying, like, people think that this, perfect and well working technology and these new cameras we have are better, when I think they're actually worse. I really do. Yeah, I think that everyone's more stupid. Like, yeah, okay, you know what? I'm not trying to hate on I'm trying to hate on Roger Taylor and Brian May a little bit. I'm trying to be critical of their words here and Rahul's as well. But I'm not just trying to be like, "Oh, everyone who liked Bohemian Rhapsody totally sucks." But like I'm saying I don't understand it. I'm like I'm not computing this right now because don't we want things to look realistic? Don't we want things to feel realistic? Don't we want things to be believable? Don't we want to feel these feelings with the characters as they're happening in the films? Yes. Yes, we do. I don't know how long this fucking video is gonna be, but now that it's long, why don't we just carry on and make it longer? I'm remembering crying really hard at two different movies. Um, one of them was The Green Mile, and the other one was Toy Story 3. I watched The Green Mile after the fact, but it wasn't very many years after it came out. But like the one part in The Green Mile where they're executing that one guy that no one wanted to execute, I cried and cried and cried and cried. Like I'm borderline about to cry right now because it was so upsetting. Tearing up a little bit. Y'all don't see me, but I am. Anyway, then in Toy Story 3, I actually saw that in a theater and I was crying so hard at the end that my friend that I saw the movie with was like, Leah, Leah, you're being super loud. But it was sad. It was sad, okay? And I was so sad because I was so invested in these characters. And now we have Toy Story 4 and Toy Story 5. And I promise you, I've wiped my ass before, and the shit on the toilet paper has been better words than the script for Toy Story 4 and Toy Story 5. Quote me. I guess what's going on is the fact that we're currently in a transition period for films. We really had a lot going there prior to Toy Story 3. We really had a system down fucking pat. Okay? And now that system is being disrupted because we have streaming services, we have YouTube, we have TikTok, and these filmmakers are just not really keeping up. I don't really know how else to say it. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work because um these just go black. I tried to do this recently on another Mobizen thing, but it just went black. I'll have to do it at another point. But I'm watching this movie Short Circuit. I haven't seen it since I was a wee lass. But like I forgot how cool this movie is. Like it's not fucking Oscar winning. Okay? It's not like The Godfather or anything, but like they made convincing robots in the 80s and they filmed them. Sorry, let me look up what year that movie came out. Short Circuit 1986. They made convincing contraptions in 1986, probably 1985, that looked like robots. Okay? I can't get over how impressive that is. I really can't. Um, I think that's enough of this video. Listen, Brian May and Roger Taylor, if y'all are watching, I love your music. I play it on piano all the time. I love your music. It's phenomenal, and it's like nothing else that the world has experienced. But y'all don't really know what you're talking about when it comes to filmmaking. Okay? That's all I want to say.